I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash, and Shani Kabad, Gadawala Rukwab to Kwanyam Nawa, which is double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalawam, Wabarakim, Labakayim, Shayasharala, which is peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. And as always, to the confusion of faces, meaning those who look like the other nations, but whose spirits resonate with the truth of these scriptures, and that believe and have faith in Yahweh, who is the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai, who is the only begotten Son. So to all of you brothers, no matter how you look, if you have the faith, then I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Shalom wa barakim. All right, so first and foremost as well, before I get into this video, I want to say Salakia. This page seemed to load. The other ones, Lord willing, maybe they loaded as well. But I'm just on break right now. It's a little bit chilly outside and it's raining. And so I'm sitting in my car in this parking garage. And so as you can imagine, there isn't the greatest service. But nonetheless, through the spirit and grace of the Lord, I wanted to get this video done. And I pray that it brings out much edification. Because if you don't know by now, the mark of the beast is truly 100% without a shadow of a doubt. The microchip, the RFID chip, the microchip is the mark of the beast. And Esau is continually pushing this as if it's some God-sent device. As a matter of fact, that word is in one of these articles. It says God-sent. And I looked up that word just to see what Esau would define it as. And it basically means something that's held in high regard. Very, 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 very valuable. And that's how they're pushing this chip. And now I'm in sales, right? I'm in sales. That's how I eat. That's how I get my daily bread through the Spirit of the Lord. Now, when it comes to sales, before you're even selling, before you sell that product, you're selling yourself. And so it's all about presentation. Now, I don't have to do this, but usually you see a salesman and he has the nice tidy shoes, the nice fit clothes. His hair is nice and neat and kept tidy, right? He has a nice clean shape up and everything. His beard is on point if he has one, which you should have a beard. But nonetheless, maybe a nice watch. Who knows, right? Vest, tuxedo, suit, whatever, tie, whatever the case is. It's all about presentation. How does that product come off from the perspective, or rather from that person who is selling it? You're always selling yourself first. It's about presentation. Now, I'm just going to skim over these articles. I have 3 that the Spirit led me to, because I just want you to see how this microchip is being pushed, the presentation of it all. They're making it seem like this microchip is going to solve every single problem that you have in the world, every single small matter. They're making it seem like this microchip just solves everything and makes your whole life easier. You're going to live a way better quality of life if you have this chip, So you so-called, because we don't really care about the heathen at all, especially about the wicked, who is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That's his biblical nationality, by the way, Esau, Edom. But to you Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, let's say, as a matter of fact, this just came to mind. So I'm going to put it out there. Let's say you took the microchip, right? All hell didn't break loose, right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to just say this, right? Which is not the case at all. This is not the case. Let's say the mark of the beast was not the microchip, right? Let's say it wasn't, even though it is. All hell didn't break loose. There's no repercussions. Now, for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans out there, if you take the microchip, right, what will it really solve? You'll still be in the lowest living conditions. You'll still be living in projects, right? You're still going to have the worst education. You're still going to have the worst healthcare. You're still going to have the worst jobs. You're still going to be treated as if you're the worst thing known to mankind. You're going to be treated as scum, as dirt. You're still going to be at the very, 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 very lowest of the lowest quality of living. It's not going to solve anything. There isn't one good reason to take the microchip. All right? There isn't one good reason to take it. But the whole point in you not taking it, first of all, is because it's biblical prophecy. And I'm going to get that in Revelation, the 14th chapter, about the true repercussions of taking the microchip, which once again is the mark of the beast. And I have to say that so many times because the scriptures tell us to write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, and in the end it shall speak, meaning it will come to pass. And it goes on to say, and will not lie. And though it tarry, wait for it, because this microchip is coming, and it will be made mandatory very, very, very soon. All right, so I've been rambling for 5 minutes, so I'm just going to, once again, like I said, I'm not going to read all the article, but I'm just going to read a little bit of each of these three and then get into the scriptures. Once again, just take note of the presentation. So humans 2.0, first of all, building a better being with smart implants. So now you have smart implants like you have smart phones. You got smart TVs, you got smart everything. Now they're going to make smart chips. But it says humans 2.0. So Esau Edom believes that by getting this chip or pushing this chip out there, he's telling you that you're going to be a better human, better than what God made you to be. All right. So it says, most of us might blanch at the idea of having microchips implanted into our bodies, which you should. But it is likely to become an increasingly everyday phenomenon in the years ahead. It's not years ahead, very, very, very soon it will be. It may simply be a lifestyle choice for those of us who will be keen to harness technology to enhance what we already have. But for others, such as those living with Alzheimer's disease, it could be a lifesaver, helping to give back what has been taken away from them. Now, this chip doesn't bring life, it brings death. It goes on to read, this is according to Dr. Patrick Kramer, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to jump down actually because I just want to get the meat. Speaking for the first time. Okay, speaking to the Irish Times shortly after his appearance at the event, Dr. Kramer said some people want implants purely so they can do away with the items they have in their wallets and purses. So yes, Nate, Satan, you can buy and sell with the microchip. He believes such chips could be used for far more important reasons, however. Now listen, he says, we could save 20% more lives if people had smart implants in their hands. We could save 20% more lives if people had smart implants in their hands that had all their medical data contained on them. Dr. Kramer said that implants that had vital information stored on them, such as telephone numbers of people to call, lists of allergies and medical conditions, and so on, could be critical for anyone involved in an accident. And all this to someone who doesn't have the true knowledge of what this microchip is being pushed truly for, will read this and say, wow, what a great idea. Now look at this example he gives. If someone with an implant found themselves in the hospital, all the vital information about them will be available to download immediately, saving valuable time and resources for health professionals. Such implants could be like insurance policies. Hopefully you never need to use it, but you'd be glad you had it if you had an emergency. Dr. Kramer claimed that such implants could also be a godsend for those with memory issues. There it is right there. I looked up that word. I don't want to click it right now because, once again, my network isn't too well right now, and it may just blank out this whole app. You know how Esau works. But I looked it up earlier before I made the video, and it basically said, once again, something held in high regard, something esteemed on a very high level, very valuable. It says this technology could help provide dignity to those who have issues memorizing things, and in particular for those who develop dementia. All right, now look at this. At the moment, there are probably about 60,000 people around the world who have microchip implants fitted, but the number is growing. 60,000 people, they're saying, roundabout, already have the microchip. And this author, or this person rather, Dr. Kramer, says, but the number is growing. And it really is growing at an exponential rate. A few years ago, it says, if you thought of someone, blah, blah, blah. That's the point right there. So as you can see, they're pushing this microchip as something super dumb valuable. If you have any kind of accident and you need to have immediate care, go to the emergency room in the hospital, and you have all of your downloadable medical records and information on that chip, emergency contacts, so on and so forth. Once again, to an unlearned eye, this seems OD valuable right now. But this is the mark of the beast. The microchip is the mark of the beast, and this is all deception. Now let's go here really quickly. Now let's see how it's being, okay, The spirit is working right now. These videos are loading. And all of these articles are relevant. This is May 17th. The other one was also, I'm not sure, maybe it was yesterday or it was written the day before. Either way, up to date. So this says, could brain implants be the new nip tuck? Now peep this. It says, imagine the possibility, look at the presentation. Imagine the possibility of having some kind of chip implanted in your brain, that's your forehead, one that perhaps allowed you to control devices purely by the power of your thought, or to access the internet, which will be gone shortly, or that greatly improved your memory or concentration levels. It is the stuff of utopian science fiction and of Frankenstein horror stories, depending on your viewpoint and most likely your culture. Either way, that's spiritual in itself. It says either way, it's happening slowly but surely, and it is. Brain or neural implants, technological devices connected directly to a biological brain, have to date typically been considered in the context of treating neurological diseases, or, as one Stanford University study last year perhaps ominously proposed, to treat impulsive behavior. But a Silicon Valley race is now afoot to develop them, ultimately as consumer products intended for brain enhancement. So you can already buy these implants, believe it or not. You can literally go online and you can buy an implant over the internet, the World Wide Web, and you can get it sent right to your house. Obviously, I'm not saying to do that. However, it's possible for anybody to do. But through this Silicon Valley company, they're doing their best now. Esau Edom is doing his best right now to make it more widestream, more readily available, easy to use, an everyday thing. Like you see people walking down the street and they have headphones in their ear, or they have the newest and latest, greatest iPhone out there. They're trying to make this microchip seem as if it's the newest and latest thing to get. They're making it widestream, available for anybody to use. All right. It says ultimately as consumer products intended for brain enhancement. Now, companies such as entrepreneur Brian Johnson, Colonel Synchron, and I'm skipping down, it says, and Elon Musk, that devil, startup Neuralink, developing implantable human-computer interfaces in the form of a kind of neural lace, are among the many now looking to fix and then boost the human brain. So through this microchip, Esau is saying that he can make you a better human by boosting your brain power. It says it's not just speculative work either. Professor Newton Howard of Oxford University has successfully, listen to this, listen closely, Professor Newton Howard of Oxford University has successfully prototyped a nanoscale artificial brain in the form of a high bandwidth neural implant and the proprietary algorithms to run it. And last year, findings were presented at the Society for Neuroscience in Washington, D.C., revealing that a University of Southern California team has developed a memory prosthesis brain implant said to boost performance in memory tests by 30%, if that is, you don't mind having electrodes implanted in your head, in your forehead. So this chip is being presented as something that can boost your brain's power. And that's something that people have always been curious about. There's been numerous multiple movies about someone having some kind of boosted brain power, and they seem superhuman. Many movies out there. All right. And they're making it seem as if this is like, it's right there. All right. The biggest berry, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's it. Okay, so you can see the presentation of this chip in this article as well. Now, I know I haven't been in the scriptures yet. However, I have one more article. All right. And this is going to be a very, very quick read. I'm not going to read a lot of this. Once again, May 17th. It says Primal Seller Inc., if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Primal Seller Inc. is helping to restore sight to the blind. There you go right there. Presentation. If you're blind, get your sight back. How are they doing it? Let's read. Could titanium have met its match? Finnish Hermetech packaging provider Primal Seller Inc. says yes. And to prove its point, the company has developed a glass package for retinal implants in cooperation with Nano Retina in order to restore sight to the blind. Glass package Nano Retina implant. All right. Primal Cellular's proprietary glass packaging for medical implants is an innovation decade in the making. For 40 years, titanium and ceramics packaging have been the standard for medical implants, but the materials have some limits, particularly when it comes to optical transparency and transferring data to and from the implants. Additionally, many people have blah, blah, blah. Hold on. This is the point right here. Primal Cellular's all-glass hermetic packaging, in contrast, offers full optical and radio frequency transparency, which allows the Nano Retina implant to wirelessly recharge and reprogram a patient's retinal implant, as well as store and transmit data to the patient's physicians to allow fine-tuning of the device. So this is a microchip, and yes, this is the same exact technology, the radio frequency identification, RFID technology that's in the microchip that allows you to buy and sell. However, they're using it for the purpose of restoring sight to the blind. That's the whole point of me bringing out this article. Okay? And now what they're saying is when the chip is inside of you, Esau is saying he can control it. It says, and transmit data to the patient's physicians to allow fine-tuning of the device while it's inside of your head. Now, I didn't even read this article, actually. I just saw it and it popped up. So, Akim, what I have, though, is just Google Alerts. I'm sure other brothers have that, but I'm just pushing it out there just in case no one hasn't thought of it yet. But I have a Google Alert for chip implants or microchip, for World War III, for what else do I have? Stock market, for US dollar, for economic collapse as well. And I've never in the past received so many articles each day for the microchip or the chip implant Google Alert that I have. That's how I found all these articles. Now, the first two I read, this one I didn't. So that's why it's surprising me right now with their... they can control the chip while it's in your head. I mean, come on. That should be a reason in itself not to even get this disgusting and foul and wicked, abominable device. All right, so as you can see, nonetheless, presentation once again. So let's get to it, man. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm going to start reading at verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means. Do not be deceived by Esau, Edom, and this wicked device. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who is Esau, Edom. And that falling away happened, but now we are coming back to our true nationality, being you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But it said that man of sin had to be revealed, all right? The son of perdition, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, his biblical nationality is Esau, Edom. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself, meaning he raises himself on high, to exalt, to hold in high regard. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And how is he doing that? Well, first of all, he thinks that he can make a better human. I mean, how out of your mind do you have to be to think that you can actually create a better human? The first article said human 2.0. Esau believes that he can make a better human, that you will be a better human being by having this microchip. That's how he exalts himself above all that is called God, the Most High. And now I'm going to jump down to verse 7, and I'm going to read through verse 10. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And the prophets, we, here at GMS, starting with our elders and apostles on down, are the voice of the Lord. And every time we go out there, matter of fact, every time we make these videos that are going across the four winds, every single time we go out there in the highways and byways, we're doing what? We're revealing the wicked through the spirit and power of the Lord. And we are consuming the wicked. Matter of fact, the Lord is consuming the wicked, all right, with his mouth. And that's us. We're just mere servants. We're the mouthpieces of the Lord. Okay. It says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness and them that perish. You see that presentation. This is the point right here. The presentation of that microchip is only deception. Why? Well, let's finish reading and then we'll get the judgment. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness and them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. All right. Now, what's the judgment for getting that microchip? Because it truly is deception. This is Revelation chapter 14. We're going to start reading at verse 7. It says, no. We're going to start reading at verse 8. Revelation 14 verse 8, it says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, which Babylon the great is America, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, her unrighteous philosophies, all manners of living that go against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai at the end of the day. To sum it up, verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, which means righteous anger, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Now, in my video that I made a few days ago, I brought out this Jeremiah chapter 19 verse 3. Now, when you read Jeremiah chapter 19 verse 3 at the very end, it says, the Lord will bring an evil, such an evil that when any man hear it, his ears shall tingle. Now, when you look up that word tingle, I forgot what the word is in Hebrew, but it basically means, what does it mean? It means to quiver. That word tingle means quiver. So when you read and you hear about the evil that the Lord is bringing, his judgment that he's bringing, it'll make your ears, or it should make your ears tingle or quiver. What do the scriptures say in the New Testament? When the day comes, when those ICBM missiles hit, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, when you read Revelation chapter 14, verse 10, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, that should make your ears tingle. It should make your ears quiver. And this should be an excellent reason not to get the mark of the beast, not to get the microchip. No matter what, don't get chipped. No matter what. When that is made mandatory, pray to the Lord. Bless the Lord. The Lord said, because you kept the hour, or Salaki, because you kept the word of my patience, therefore I shall keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is when the mark of the beast, the microchip, is made mandatory. And as you can see, it's already being pushed out there to be some kind of God-sent device, which is not. So I pray that this is edifying. Got to get back in there. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us his truth and who rule well. And peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.